Hello and welcome to the sewing studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make this bag to store your cutting mat in. And inside this bag we've got some pockets and we've also got some pelmet viling which is covered so that can separate an area to keep our board nice and flat, and we've got pockets for rulers and other cutting tools. So you can make the outside of this bag from a charm pack and 1/2 metre of fabric. So I'm just going to show you how we do the outside of it first of all. So any charm pack would work because we are going to use 40 charm pack squares. So I'm going to show you how to make the top. First of all, you will need 9 of your charm pack squares, and I've already put 9 of them together here, and I've used Rainbow Sherbet for this. I absolutely love this range. And then I've cut a piece of grey fabric, and this piece of fabric measures 9.5 by 14 inches, and I'm going to join that to this piece, and then I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to have another 9 patch, and I'm going to join another piece of grey to that there. Before I joined the grey, what I did was I took one of the charm squares and I turned it on point and I've appliqued it on. So you can see that it's just a little blanket stitch all the way round to hold that in place. So that is how we make the side of our bag. So I'll just show you one that's all been put together. So you can see there's our background fabric with our charm square appliqued on, joined to 9 patches, and then we've done it the other way, our 9 patches, we've joined this on, and then we've stitched the 2 together. So the only matching piece is this long piece across the middle. So if you do it as I've explained, 9 of your squares to 1 piece of background, 1 piece of background, 9 squares, and join it together like that. And if you do that twice, that's going to be the body of your bag. So the next thing you need to do is you need to put some wadding behind that, and you will need to quilt it. And then you'll sew it together to form the outside of your bag. So this has been quilted just with a straight stitch in between the squares. So a quilt in the ditch around the squares, and you've got wadding in there as well. And then we come to making the inside of the bag itself. So if you measure your bag and then you make your lining, and I'll show you how you do that. So you can see here, this is my piece of pelmet viling, and I've made this just shorter than the bag. It's the width of the bag, but the depth is slightly shorter, and all I've done is I've put a piece of fabric over it, and then I've sandwiched that between the 2 sides, which is going to be the lining for the bag. So I've literally popped that inside there, and then I've put my fabric right sides together, and I've stitched all the way down along the bottom and all the way up to the top. So as I say, that's slightly lower down. If you wanted to put the pockets in, as we've done on this one here, let me show you the pockets. So the person that made this bag has been a bit fancy, and they've made the pocket with some little cutout pieces of the grey as well. But for today, I haven't made any pockets. I've just done a straight bag with this divider in the middle. And when you've done that, all you do is you pop this inside your completed bag. So you slide it down inside the bag. So imagine that this has just got wadding, and we just slide it down inside the bag. So that our piece is a bit lower than the top of our bag. And then the next thing I'm going to do, so you could either turn this over and do it as a binding for the top, or you can trim it off there and put different coloured binding. So this one's got different coloured handles. So for this one I was going to use grey handles, and I've cut these width of fabric and they measure 6 inches across. So we would put a strip of wadding down the middle and we would fold it in like this, fold it over and top stitch down, and that would be our handle. And then you would just attach the handles as these have been attached on here. So these ones have actually been put down inside, but I would attach mine on the outside, so I made a square, or on the inside, so I made a square. We've got lots of tutorials that show you how you can attach handles to a bag. So that's a nice, easy cutting mat bag. If you didn't want to put the violin in the middle, if you were happy with just a bag with wadding and you thought that was going to be secure enough, you could just make it with regular calico lining and then your bag would fit in there perfectly. So this bag, as a finished bag, measures 27 by 22. So this takes an 18 by 24 cutting mat. So as always, have fun. I think it's a lovely bag to make using a charm pack. And as I say, 1/2 metre of the contrast fabric. Then you could probably make the handles and bindings out of any other leftover fabrics you had. You could even put calico on the inside as your lining. So make it your own, have fun, and I look forward to seeing you next time here in the sewing studio.